long company name. Hello there! You know, there's a new cult in America. It's growing stronger every day, and it reaches all corners of the country or the world. It's called PVRs, or personal video recorders. Many of you probably got one for the holiday season. I didn't get one yet, and we were just talking about that a couple of minutes ago, what I should end up getting, and maybe it will be a TiVo, depending on what Matt tells me how easy it is to set up and hook up and get going. So let's start out with the hardware side of things. What are we going to need to do?
Well, first of all, TiVo is the hot item that's sweeping across the country. Anybody who wants to record and sort of take over their television is getting into the PVR, and TiVo certainly is the most popular one.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, it's like a VCR, only it records stuff to a hard drive. There's no tapes involved, and there's the schedule that's kind of integrated with it. So you can subscribe to a TV show and have it automatically record every time it's on.
That's correct, yeah. A TiVo really is sort of a VCR on steroids. It's a Linux box with a hard drive in there and lots of connections on the front, on the back rather. Most people are familiar with seeing a TiVo in the front here. If you notice, there are no buttons on the front of the TiVo here. Everything is done from the very fancy Peanut remote control. And first of all, we're going to kind of show folks who have gotten a TiVo for the holidays kind of how to connect it and hook up a TiVo.
Oh.
So let's bring it to the back here and show the myriad of connections in the back here. And there are only a couple of connections that are really important that you need to know about. One of them is the telephone line here. And we're going to plug in our telephone line here first. This is how TiVo talks to the mothership every night. It calls in, and it downloads all the program information to the TiVo box.
And, of course, you're going to need to have that other end connected to your phone jack in the wall.
Correct.
All right. There's your power
There's
cable.
the power line, and that'll plug into our power adapter here. And like this is a Linux box, it does take a few minutes for it to power up.
So people who are running Linux, or people who are running TiVo, are actually running Linux.
Correct, absolutely.
Kind of neat. Not bad so far.
And then the last thing you'll want to do is you want to plug in your connections into your TV set. There are a few different ways to do this, but most people have on their television sets what we call a composite video signal and then the audio-video left and right. It's very similar to your VCR, how you would hook that up. Most of it's color-coded, so you have your yellow connection goes into the yellow jack, your red and white into their respective jacks, and then onto the back of the television.
Now, what about this? I think we've got a coaxial coming out of the floor. Is this our actual cable connection?
That's our incoming cable connection.
Or satellite.
Or satellite, and that'll connect into the cable antenna in on the top here.
You want me to get that? Sometimes these can be a trick if you don't get them right on.
I think I got it.
Why do they make them so hard to connect?
To make it tough.
Oh, gosh, they're so nuts.
And then we'll plug it in the front of our TV here. And we're set and ready to go. One of the great things with TiVo is they give you this great Start Here guide, and it's a poster, and it goes through the step-by-step on how to plug in your PVR and get it set up and running. It's really quite simple.
Yeah, and of course, if you don't have the jacks in the front of the TV, you'd be able to connect them to the back of the TV or somewhere, or maybe through a receiver.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And there's several different scenarios that the manual goes through, and step-by-step instructions on how to plug it into your TV or your receiver.
All right. Well, in just a couple of minutes after the break, we're going to actually fire this thing up and see how easy it is to use. Like I said, I don't own one yet, and every time I see it on the show, I want to get one even more. So stick around. We'll see what it looks like in just a second. Cool. So you've been working with that PVR. Folks, we're back with Matt Lindstedt of the Silicon Valley Installation Company, and right now we're trying to bend a RCA jack back into place, or I guess it's a cable.
Yeah, good luck.
Jack. I think this thing's hosed. It's not going anywhere. Look at it. It's crunched. See how it's like oval shaped? It shouldn't be. It should be completely round. But we've been setting up a TiVo. We did all the cable connections. That was really simple. It really was. And now we're actually looking at the interface. We've seen it before on the show. But Matt, could you step us through it again?
Sure. Yeah, the great thing with the TiVo interface is its simplicity. And anybody who can pick up a remote control and follow along on the screen should be able to use the TiVo fairly easy.
Can we get another one of these things? I don't know. Sorry, keep going, Matt. Okay. I was just seeing if we can get a hardware replacement for this.
Basically, the great thing with TiVo is it sort of asks you the questions, and you go along with the menu here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pick programs to record, because that's what most people want to do, is pick programs to record. And unlike a traditional VCR where you have to know what time the show comes on, what day the show comes on, this will actually find it for you. And we're going to come down here, our menu here. We can search by title, search by wish list, TiVo suggestions, record timer channel. Let's go ahead and search by title since we know what we want to look for. all programs.
And again, you're just using the remote control to navigate this.
Real simple. It's got a thumb joystick on top here that we can go through the individual setups here. And we're going to find our favorite show. That's Call for Help. There's a little keyboard.
That's your
on the
favorite
side.
show?
I think so.
We try to help people. Did you see it today? Like all day, it says Call for Help-A-Thon. It's so cool. I think I'm going to try to fix this here.
So I'm just going through the little keyboard on the side here, and every time I type in a new number here, it's giving me a list of possible shows that are going to be on. So we're pretty close to call here, and yep, Call for Help and Call for Help-A-Thon.
Wow, right there.
So let's go to the Call for Help-A-Thon and hit select, and boom. What do we want to do? It's going to ask what we want to do. We want to record the showing.
You know, some people are. Some people they're trying to record the whole thing.
And boom, now it's set up. Now, TV will also ask us, do we want to record a full season of this? If this madness was on every single day or every week, we could record this for the entire season. Since it's only on once here, we'll just set it up for once. Recording confirmed. It's doing its thing.
I don't know. What do you think? Should we do this every week?
Sure.
Maybe you can. I think I'm going to sit that one out. I don't know. I'm trying to bend this thing back into play, but I don't know if it's going to go or not. I got some needle-nose pliers. Right here. You want to give it a shot?
I'll give it a shot.
It was really easy. I mean, I think that's the beauty of TiVos. I think they're going to revolutionize the way people interact with television. Yeah,
it really is a simple thing. And one of the great things with TiVo also is after you start using TiVo for a couple of weeks, it sort of starts to read your mind and figure out what you want to record, and it will come up with what they call the TiVo wish list. Ooh. And it will give you some suggestions on what it thinks that you want to record, what you think you want to watch, and you can watch that whenever you want.
I think my wife does that automatically. She doesn't need any firmware updates or anything. She tells me what to watch anyway. Luckily, I do the show. I'd never be able to watch it. Well, I'm not able to watch it because all I have is VCR, and I'm too lazy to set it. But thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Very easy. I think I got it working, too. Got it in there.
Okay.
What do you know? I'm handy with the pliers. Thanks again.
Thank you.
We appreciate the help. And, of course, coming up, we're going to go back to the phones to answer more of your live calls. So, if you got a question, what are you waiting for? Give us a call. 888-989-7879. We're here all day. Literally, all day. I'll be here all day. We are losing face here at TechTV. That's right, we are, literally. Because if you watch TechTV for too long, look what happens to you. That's right. Look at that. You get a red dot on your shoulder and you don't have any more face. And we've got proof right here at our website, techtv.com/call-for-help. All kidding aside, folks, this is where you can get all sorts of information about the stuff that we're doing here at the Call for Help-A-Thon. Yeah, that's what it's called, the Call for Help-A-Thon. Click on the big graphic at the top of the screen. And then, right here, it's the live GymCam link. Let's see what it is. It's me and the red bow behind me. It's taking forever to, pop up. Am I yelling at somebody there? Or what is this Chris's insane stuff? I don't know. You can read more about it on our website. It's true. That's why I'm doing this. I'm loony. Welcome back to the Call for Help-A-Thon. If you just tuned in, we're answering your questions till 4 a.m. Eastern. I'm not done yet.
No idea.
She's whispering to her. She's talking to herself again.
Yeah.
That's 1 a.m. on the West Coast. So, if you need any help setting up anything that you've got, whether it's tech-related or not, give us a call. 888-989-7879. We'll muddle through an answer here in our, is it the 5th or 6th hour? 6th hour of the Help-A-Thon.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
21 callers down. 8-something to go. 80-something. No, 70-something.
You've been doing really well. Morgan, show them the little car. Zip Zap.
Oh, Zip Zap.
Zip Zap.
My mom got a cheap knockoff. Kind of like that, only I didn't drop it. It did the same thing.
Dropping it off the desk.
Isn't that always the case?
Driver.
Like your relatives they're well-meaning, but they always get the one that's the off-brand just to save a couple of bucks.
You know the Zip Zaps are these ones from Radio Shack?
I think so.
The Radio Shack ones are impossible to find. You could not.
These are Radio Shack ones.
They're impossible to get.
Well, really?
I went to the Radio Shack by my house 10 times, and they kept telling me Wednesday. I didn't get them.
I got a Furby.
Very sad.
You got a Furby?
Yeah, I got a Furby finally.
That's not that cool.
Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah.
I remember that craze too.
Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah, this is a wooden leg right here. Didn't know that. Lost it. Cabbage Patch Kid incident.
So this was the Cabbage Patch Kid of the year 2002, Morgan?
This was one of the most popular toys. I know how hard they were to get because they're so fun. You can get them for kids or grown-ups.
And I got spammed like none other for
So
remote controlled cars.
Much spam.
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of remote controlled cars in the back. I'm going to bust them out when we get really bored.
Well, don't bust
later.
them. I'm kind of bored now. I need another live caller to
Okay.
get my juices flowing.
Okay, that's the car.
Okay, on the phone is George from Columbia, Maryland.
George?
I wonder if we can launch it.
Hello, George?
Chris, hi.
Hi. Okay, question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I recently set up a wireless network, a Linksys wireless network with a cable modem, and I understand that the router has a firewall built into it. But I'm wondering if that's enough security, or are there other things that need to be done to either stop programs from going out from my system or block people from coming in wirelessly?
Okay. It's a general question, but it's specific in the sense that you want to be more secure. And first off, by getting what you call the page is not found there. Sorry about that. It's 404. Let's go over to linksys.com to tell people what we're talking about. Something that looks a little like this, that's got little weird antennas coming out of the back of it, a wireless access point or a router. This is going to allow you, obviously, direct connectivity to your home network, as well as wireless connectivity, as long as you have wireless access from those devices like a laptop or just a desktop computer. In terms of making it secure, there are a few things you can do. The first thing you can do, you're talking about, it acts as kind of like a barrier for the incoming network traffic, like stuff that's coming in from the internet. Like when you request a web page, stuff's got to come through it. You got to get the graphics, you got to get the text, you got to get so on and so forth. So you request that information. But of course, since you're online, you're connected. And if someone knows how to get to you, if someone knows your IP address, your number that's assigned to the machine when you're online, they could get through if you're not protected. Having this protects you. You've done about 90% of the work. It's not 100% perfect. And with this, no matter what one you have, make sure you swing by linksys.com and make sure you have the latest firmware, is what they call it.
Okay.
And what firmware is it's software that's sitting on the hardware that allows it to work. So you can access your router through a web browser. It's running on the firmware. So the latest firmware is going to give you the most amount of security, and they're going to issue bug patches or bug fixes and whatnot. So you want to make sure you have the latest firmware. You're talking about monitoring traffic, not only incoming, but outgoing. In later Linksys router models, and I think with the firmware updates, they can actually integrate with Zone Alarm Pro. So if you've got a registered version of Zone Alarm Pro, or just a registered version of Zone Alarm, and that can be found at if I spell it right, ZONELABS, zonelabs.com. That should redirect you to a place where you can get Zone Alarm Pro. Though it looks like they're up to 3.5 at this point in time. This will integrate with your Linksys router. So you could monitor, with Zone Alarm Pro installed, you can monitor not only incoming traffic, but outgoing traffic as well. Just the Linksys router on its own won't monitor anything outgoing. I mean, It will, but it won't stop anything in case there's like spyware modules or something that's happening on your machine you don't know what's going on.
Right.
Now, on top of all this, because you've got another berry on the pile, you're talking about wireless access. So there's a part of the router, whether it's a Linksys router or what have you, asking for encryption. Have you seen this anywhere in there where it's saying like 64-bit, 128-bit encryption, password?
Yes, I set that up as part of the setup.
Good. Yeah, you got to change your default, what they call ESS ID, or your ID for that machine. And that doesn't always work because it's still going to broadcast that ID. Usually it's going to broadcast it. But once you change that, it could stop a few people from getting in by default because they know Linksys is the default word for Linksys routers. But set up encryption so that you set up a keyword. So like set up 128-bit encryption, set up a key or a passphrase, and you could type in something real weird that only you would know. And then on your laptop or your computer that's connecting wirelessly, you would say, this is the key phrase, or this is the encryption that I want to use. So that way, someone who saw your access point, unless they knew the passphrase, they couldn't get in. So that's another way of limiting it. You can go even further with it, and you can limit access by certain machines. They're also known as a MAC address, not like the Mac operating system, but I believe, what is it, a machine access. I don't know what MAC stands for, unfortunately. Maybe Leo would know. He probably would. He's good at acronyms. But it's a MAC address, which is the kind of the serial number assigned to your network adapter. So you can limit your access by network adapters as well. So there's a lot of things you got to think about, and I know we've covered it before. And if we don't have the link up on our website right now, we will definitely have it for you within the next couple of minutes. So thanks for the call. It is a big, comprehensive question. Hopefully you got most of the bases covered. I'm sure I missed something, but that's what the message boards are for. So, swing by there and let's see if I missed anything. Let me know. I'm curious to learn more. Do we have any other callers now?
I think would be funny?
What?
If we just
lots of things would be funny
if we just stopped giving Chris callers
Yeah.
And he just had to dance.
Or take his shirt off again and run around.
You know, I don't think that would last very long.
Okay, we do have a caller. His name's Joe. He's from Los Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. That's my middle name.
All right. Well, I knew I liked you.
Oh, well, good. Well, hopefully you like me more than my middle name.
Well, I hope so.
All right, Joe, what can we help you with today?
I am in a market for a new computer, and I'm going back and forth between a Pentium and a Mac. I'm going to be doing I want to basically convert a lot of video to DVD, family videos, old videos, and my digital camera is the main thing I use it for, plus the Internet. And I just wanted to get any input you might have and which way to go.
All right. What kind of digital camera do you have, Joe?
I have an Olympus 3000.
Olympus. All right. Let me ask you this question. I've researched Olympus cameras in a while, but do you know if that Olympus camera has drivers for OS X?
Yes, I did look on the website, and they do.
They do. Okay. If they didn't, I would have recommended another way of connecting the camera or the digital media. You can get a digital media reader. And as long as it's got drivers for OS X, you should be fine.
Okay.
The question, and I think you kind of maybe be able to tell where I'm leaning towards. I would say if you don't have any software to, let me minimize this because we're not talking about that right now. If you don't have to worry about migrating any software, if you want a fresh start, and you're talking about doing a lot of videos en masse, I would say I think OS X. I think it's the operating system is maturing. It's getting to the point now where I'm getting more comfortable with it. The issue has been for me is finding software that's as strong as the software I'm used to on Windows. I've got a 3.06 gigahertz Pentium 4 at home, and so it's fast, and it's extremely fast compared to OS X. But when I turn to my Mac and I look for software, I always go to versiontracker.com. By default, since I'm on Windows, it's going to redirect me there. But these guys are. I don't want to install Flash. It asked me earlier. Not that I wouldn't want to. It's just it might take a while to install. Here, every single day, they list programs. Ooh, look at that! They've got an update for a Linksys router. We were just talking about that just with the last caller. This is a website I would recommend you go to first, and the reason why is check to make sure the software that you find listed here is software that you would consider using, or that would be the equivalent of what you're used to using on the PC. Now, if it's something as basic as just web surfing and email, they've got plenty of programs that'll take care of that for you on OS X. A lot of the reason why people switch is they're tired of Windows. They want a different type of environment. But I would say that as far as video editing goes, the Mac platform is probably just as powerful as Windows is now. It's just that the default bundle of software that it comes with tends to be less buggy. So iMovie out of the gate runs real well. The iDVD that comes out of the gate, at least with the iMacs that come with the SuperDrive, run real well as well. But again, it's like you ask a geek and he's going to tell you something different. He or she is going to tell you something different. I would lean you towards the iMac just because I think you sound like you're waxing and waning, and I think you'd probably regret it if you went with Windows because you'd always wonder what it would be like. Maybe go to a superstore and actually play with it. Don't read what people say online because sometimes you know what they're talking about, but actually experience it for yourself. Go in there, play with it. Is it something you could get used to? Do you like it? Is it something you enjoy? Do you appreciate its interface? Do you appreciate its nuances? Do you appreciate the company? It's really a Pandora's box. I can't answer this question one way or the other, but I've said that my recommendation would be I think you'd be happier with OS X, but I think you could be just as happy with Windows if you could not find programs, the equivalent programs on the Mac side of things that you could on Windows.
Okay.
So I know it's kind of long and complicated, Joe, but hopefully that'll help maybe get your juices flowing.
It definitely helps.
Good. And I know we've started plenty of message board threads on there, and I think Kat will get another one going.
Our message boards are so slow right now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Well, Joe, keep
we're on
trying
a quick
that.
Connection, so.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of people visiting right now. But, Joe, keep trying. If I think of any other reasons why one operating system over another, I'll bring them up because we got plenty of time. Like, how many hours left? 12, 13?
Many more hours. People love talking about operating systems, too, so
I like
get it up there.
Yes, everyone has an opinion.
Yes, they do.
Just like elbows. Well, not everyone has elbows. Anyway, coming up next, one of our favorite and most popular free files of the year, a program that'll put an end to those pesky pop-up ads. But first, here's Kat with a quick Windows tip. Yes, please.
If your mouse cursor is too small, enlarge it. Hit the Start button, mouse over Settings, click on Control Panel. Hit the mouse icon, go to the Pointers tab, In the drop box labeled Scheme, select either Windows Standard Large or Extra Large. Now you can actually see what you're clicking with.
If there's one thing that we here at Call for Help agree on, it's that pop-up windows are evil. If you spell that backwards, it's live. So it's live evil right here on the Call for Help-A-Thon. But I'm a nice guy. I really am. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? It's time to strike a blow for all good and install FreeSurfer Mark II. It's our free file right now, FreeSurfer Mark II, absolutely free. And what this program will do is not only kill pop-up windows. I've got it running right now on my system tray nice and silently. If I double-click it, there it goes. There we are, right in the foreground. It'll pop up and tell me exactly how many pop-ups have been terminated. But since I just launched the program, hasn't terminated anything. It tells me my active browsers. It's even got a snapshot manager, so I can take a snapshot of however my browser's laid out. So if I want it to go back to that place, I can record it. I can set it to a strict mode so it kills every possible pop-up. Of course, I wouldn't recommend doing that because there are some pop-ups that you do want to see. If suddenly your browser gets overtaken with all these pop-ups and you can't seem to do anything and you close one and another one pops up, press the panic button and it'll kill them all. Now, this is just the basic engine. When I go into Tools and Options, you see I've got a rules list in there, but I've got all sorts of things in here, including the ability to lock my home page so that, sometimes you'll install a program or go to a website and it'll set itself as your start page. By having this program running and having this option enabled, you'll automatically have it just automatically not change anything. It'll automatically go back to the page that you want. And ours happens to be our website, techtv.com/call-for-help. And the nice thing is, too, some people ask about flash animations. Sometimes you'll be on a website now, and I know that StarWars.com is really bad at this. They'll have animations come up, and you can't close them. It's because it's a flash animation. It's a flash layer. Well, if you take the check mark out of there, you've disabled flash animations from happening. You can also enable or disable image animations. Those are GIFs, those animated images usually seen in banners. All sorts of stuff that you can do. And again, we've recommended it before, FreeSurfer Mark II. Some people have said that it's a little resource intensive, but hey, it's pretty darn powerful. Speaking of powerful, my stomach is getting kind of, hungry. So I'd like to introduce a couple of friends of mine, Ken Coburn and Brandon Disney, and they're from Data Doctors. Well, I always forget.
Close.
What is it?
Yeah, Data Doctors.
I almost said Drive Savers, but Drive Savers are the other people.
Oh, you're down there. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Sorry. Hey, they said that we could hang out with the ladies. Is there?
Well, maybe.
Yeah, we have that restraining order. I think it's a 30.
It's a distance.
30-foot limit.
That was just for Morgan.
Yes.
Morgan? She's not over there right now. I don't know where she's at.
Yeah, that's why
you should be safe. You should be okay. Not a problem. I'll disappear here in just a second. But you were up for this show.
No.
Hosting the show. Yeah, you were.
No.
Yeah, you were.
No, that was
a
a mistake.
bad rumor.
It wasn't a rumor. That's when we met for the first time face to face.
Yeah, they said I wasn't short enough.
It's the hair. It's got to be
It's all about the hair. It's all about the callers, too. Kat, do you have someone to introduce to these guys?
Yeah, we're going to see what these guys can do with caller number 24. On the phone, we've got Ryan from Traverse City, Michigan. Help him out, boys.
All right, I'm going to leave Ryan to you two, Ken, Brandon. Good luck. I'm eating.
And if we need you, you'll be close by?
Sure. Whatever.
Because,
just a call away, right?
We got the perfect radio faces. We're still working on TV.
Right. Yeah, bye.
So we got Ryan. Now, Ryan has got a question for us live by phone. Ryan.
Hello.
Hey, lucky you get to deal with us because he's hungry.
We're not radio professionals, or we're not TV professionals, even though we play them on the radio.
We're not professional at all, but let's see if we can help you. What's your question today?
I'm looking for recommended peer-to-peer programs like iMesh and Napster.
Oh, he's looking for things to find those pirate
No.
programs.
You're not one of them Blackbeards, are you?
No.
You're not trying to pirate stuff, are you? Arrgh! No?
No, it's just the fun stuff.
What is it you're trying to find? Let's start with that. Let's make sure, because peer-to-peer, there's quite a few things out there. Obviously, Napster's gone. The only chance of doing anything with Napster would be the yard sale they just had. Should have had her cap. But basically, there are lots of them out there that have this peer-to-peer sharing capability. You're after music? What are you after?
Music, documents, software. I kind of like iMesh, but it keeps crashing my system.
My favorite, the one I use, but you got to be a little bit careful in your installation, is Kazaa. Now, there's some software that's packaged with it, so you want to make sure when you go to install it that you choose carefully and don't just select all the defaults. Make sure that you uncheck and go through the custom installation. Because I think we're trying to bring it up right now.
Most of these programs will put other programs in there to kind of pay for themselves. They got little advertising situations where they're kind of tracking what you're doing and they're popping up ads at you and what have you. And some people do have problems with resources and what have you. The biggest thing I probably want to warn you with any of these peer-to-peer programs, there are a lot of malicious people out there in these environments that put malicious code in things that you think you want. So you think you're downloading a song or you're getting a piece of software for free or something, which you shouldn't be doing anyway.
Right.
But if you do, I mean, there's a couple of them that just hit recently that were they were kind of pretty widespread. So you got to be really, really careful about what you're downloading. Obviously, make sure your antivirus software or what have you is up to date. I mean, what kind of software are you looking for? Something that somebody's written. You're not trying to get like commercial software, right?
No, I'm just looking for those funny songs that people seem to make up and the little jingles and stuff like that.
Foreign stuff. Okay.
Perfect use for that
then
kind of thing.
Then I'm okay recommending that you look at Kazaa. I think Kazaa's probably got the largest group of individuals that have to go back and check the latest.
There's a bunch of others out there. You can look for Morpheus, BearShare, I think is still around, LimeWire. There's a bunch of other ones as well out there, but those are some of the more popular ones.
Yeah, for the most part, though, just about all of them use kind of the same engine, the same peer-to-peer sharing. They don't have like a centralized server like Napster did, so they're bound to be around. Kazaa seems to be the one that's kind of gaining the most momentum from a marketing standpoint. So, you're talking like, let's see here. Do we have? But we don't have it downloaded. If we had it set up, it'll actually tell you how many users are on at the time and how many files are available.
It's usually hundreds of thousands at a time online, billions of files and things available for download. So.
Make sure, though, and uninstall the other peer-to-peer programs you're not using, because those are all going to be resource hogs, and they all like to stay loaded in the background so that you don't have these things colliding. All right, Ryan? Hey, now, again, no pirating out there.
No bad stuff.
The one thing that's going to happen, they're going to say, yeah, those guys that were on when Chris was eating lunch, they said you can pirate software.
Yeah, just get anything you want for free. It's all just free stuff out there, right?
Morgan and I actually use WinMX.
Yeah, I like WinMX, actually, too.
Yeah, you can't always get everything you want, but you're not really supposed to anyway, so. But it works out nice. Okay, up next, never miss your favorite TV show again. Morgan and I are going to show you an online interactive service that'll help you find out what's on TV, and then it'll send you reminders so you won't miss it. It's like a TiVo kind of, except it won't record anything. So make sure you save your money and check out this free file coming up next.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, you got a new tech gadget. Now learn how to use it. You're watching TechTV's Call For Help-A-Thon.
Sure, you could look up your favorite shows in the trusty old TV Guide. That's the old way. But as good as TV Guide is, it will not remind you when The Sopranos is on. For something like that, you need to get interactive and online, and Kat is here to show us how to do it.
Yes, I am. Woo. This is one of my favorite free files. It's called DigiGuide.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for this?
I'm so ready. Bring it on.
All right, this is how it works. Once you download it onto your computer, you have to give it some information about your cable system and your cable provider. But it's very smart.
Yes.
Because once you enter in that information, you can pick what you want to watch, put it in here, and it's going to remind you when it's on.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's going to tell you when it's on and everything?
Yeah, it'll remind you by sending you an email and by popping up on your computer and saying, the Call For Help-A-Thon is currently happening.
Please get off your computer and go directly to your television.
Yes, do it now. So this is what mine looks like right now. I only have 2 stations programmed in, so it's kind of lame. But as you can see, the Call For Help-A-Thon is on right now. And if I want it to remind me, all I do is hit this button. And if I want to watch it, I go ahead and hit this button, and it's going to send me an email and say, yo, Kat, go watch it. Now, to program it...
Does it hit you on the head? Go watch it.
No.
I wish it did. That'd
Almost.
be cool.
To add channels, you go to change your channels. And see, I told it already what my provider, what my system is, so it knows which networks are available to me. So to add, say I want to add this one here, I just go to add. Ooh. Comedy, just go to
good.
add.
Add Comedy Central.
Yeah, what about Lifetime?
No.
No?
No.
No Lifetime?
No.
Game Show Network, for sure.
You and game shows.
I know, I love it.
I don't get it.
So once you're done, ooh, look, it sets reminders and it pops up on your computer screen and it says,
Call For Help-A-Thon is on. No way.
It's on, right.
I had no idea.
Right. Neither did
I would not have known without the DigiGuide.
Yeah, and so then if I don't want it to remind me again, I just hit this. But then what I do is I hit close, and now what it's going to do, yes, check now, is it goes out to the internet that we know and love, and it figures out what's on and what we need to check out. Start.
I like the pop-up reminder.
I know, you
it just,
like that?
Pops up in front of your computer.
It takes a couple of seconds for the files to download and actually tell you what's on, but once it's up, then you
probably
just...
a little bit longer on dial-up too.
Yeah,
but you know what? It's not too long to wait for the good information that you're getting.
Right, exactly. And then it has a search button here, so if you want to search for something, like, say, whammy.
That sounds...
Then what you do
no
is it tells you exactly when whammy is on. Oh, you haven't seen whammy?
No,
it's like
it's on a lot too.
Whammy, but they actually drop people from underneath the stage if they get it wrong. Like if they hit no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, and if they hit a whammy, the stage drops and they fall down. It's really funny.
That sounds awful.
But to go ahead and watch it, all you have to do is double click. Oh, there's a dog. We'll get him out of here later. You just double click on it, and then it's going to give you information about what whammy is, and it's going to ask you if you want to be reminded
really
of
cool.
it.
This is very cool.
Yeah, so if
no whammies.
If you don't want to get dropped in the stage or left behind, what I want you to do is...
Is there a trapdoor under here?
No, there's not. Don't worry.
Okay.
You can use this. You can use this this free file. It's easy to use, and you can check out all the details for it on our website. The address is techtv.com/call-for-help. Now, up next, it's time to see what's going on in our inbox and take a look at the message boards. And who knows, maybe we'll sneak in another live call. Our message boards are down right now, so hold tight. We're getting them back up. We'll be right back.